Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Madhava, Radha Shyamsundar, Krishna Balaram, Bal Gopal, Gonitai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. And today we wanted to go through this incredible personality called Ganesh or Ganpati as part of the Sanatan Dharma session. These Devatas are very special, and because they're serving the Supreme Lord. And some of these Devatas have extraordinary powers which are bestowed to them by the Supreme Lord. And Ganesh is one of these amazing Devatas. Let's have a look at who he is. So this is in the Brahma Samhita, very nice description. Yat pada palava yugam vinidaya kumbha Twande Panama Samaye Saganadi Raja Vignan Mihantum Alamasya Trigatrayasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It's a translation of this verse from the Brahma Samhita 550. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, whose lotus feet are always held by Ganesh upon the pair of tumuli protruding from his elephant head in order to obtain power for his function of destroying all the obstacles on the path of progress of the three worlds. So Ganesh has this power that he can destroy all the obstacles, but he gets that power from Govinda. So this is very instructive for us, very instructive. The multitude of deities in Vedic tradition seem to create an idea of pantheism, many gods, many supremes, in the immature mind of the uninformed. Ganesh is the most universally worshipped of the so-called Hindu pantheon. However, he is rarely the exclusive or ultimate object of devotion, though this is relatively common in South India, South Bharat. More often, he is supplicated before the worship of other deities. So he is worshipped before other deities. But he's not generally the only deity in the temple. Generally, there'll be Lakshmi Narayan or Shiv Parvati or Radha Krishna as the main deity. And Ganesh would be a smaller deity. He is frequently placed as the keeper of the threshold, standing near the doorway of a shrine or a temple. Ganesh is considered the destroyer of all obstacles, venerated at the beginning of any ritual, special event, important endeavor. He is therefore referred to as the Lord of beginnings and the giver of success. He has a very large part to play in our success. He is the first of the two sons of Shiv and Parvati. He is shown with the elephant's head and a rotund body. He's a little chubby. He is dressed gorgeously and in three hands holds an axe, a elephant noose, and a round cake called a modaka. With his fourth hand, he awards benedictions. One of Ganesh's tusks is broken. Some say this was broken in a fight with Parshuram. Others that he snapped it off to himself to hurl it at the moon as it was mocking him. Another account tells how he broke his tusk to write down so he used his broken tusk to write down the Mahabharata as sage Vyas narrated it. So that's the version that we commonly understand why this tusk is broken. He's therefore considered the patron of letters and associated with learning and wisdom. He also oversees all human experience that can be identified and categorized, and is thus called the Lord of Categories. So he's a very important personality. Ganesh is depicted in seated, standing, and dancing poses. He's particularly fond of sweets and shows a tendency to overeat. So this is one of his wonderful pastimes. His carrier is the bandicoot, a large species of rat. Ganesh has other names such as Ganapati, the leader of Shiva's personal troops, Vinayak, one who is knowledgeable, Vigneshwar, one who removes obstacles. Some consider Ganesh to be a brahmachari, celibate. Others claim he has two wives, usually identified as the daughters of Brahma, Siddhi, perfection, and Buddhi, Buddhi's intelligence. There are many different opinions in this matter. So this one, we don't really get into too much debate on this because the views vary. It doesn't really matter either. The symbol most associated with Ganesh is a swastika, an ancient symbol of good fortune. Of course, the Nazis nicked that symbol and turned it upside down and sideways a little bit and made it from a sign of auspiciousness and peace to a sign of war. This is the demoniac nature of this world. Ganesh Chaturthi, the birthday celebration, occurs in August, September. Festivities begin on the 4th day of the waxing moon on the month of Bhadrapad and can last up to 10 days. The festival is particularly popular in Maharashtra. So some auspicious names. We already talked about a few names, and there's a few more. Vignesh, one who is Pariharaka, remover of obstacles. Ganesh is the head of all Ganas, including Nandi and Brungi. Heramba, he fought with Lord Shiva, fought with his own father.
What means Ganas?
Head of all the Ganas. Ganas is like different types of animals, as far as I remember. Good question, actually. Let me just have a quick look. Ganas.
Any Satya group, gone, right? In Gujarati, we call gone.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. So his group, if you like. Like, yeah. Like his group, his companions and things like that.
Yeah.
And what means pariharaka? Pariharaka?
Removal of obstacles. Pariharaka is basically removing anything that's in the way of the practitioner. He's Gajanana, he's the head of the elephant. So Gaja is elephant. Mukha is mouth. Dara, he has a big fat udhar stomach. Shurpa Karana.
I don't think he would appreciate us calling him that actually by that name.
He's okay. He's pretty chilled. He loves to be the center of the joke, you know. This is one of his attributes. He loves it. The thing is, often he is very much underestimated, and he loves that. So people take the mickey out of him. Yeah, his brother especially would tease him a lot. But
And it's interesting that you mentioned his brother as being Murugan because and him being the eldest son, but because it depends on which part of India, because I think in northern India or something, they consider Murugan to be the first son. So it differs from part to part.
It does differ, yes. There's different views. That's true. It's like whether he's married or not. Different. There's a lot of difference of opinion there.
And also, just going back to the first slide that you mentioned when you started about Ganesh, you mentioned that he gets the power from Govinda. And I've also heard that, and I've never heard the term read anywhere. They say that he gets a power from Krishna or from Rama or from Vishnu. They always say Govinda.
Govinda is the same.
Why is that? Because
one and the same person. Govinda, another name for Krishna.
I know, but it's not really though, is it? I mean, Rama is not exactly Krishna. It's another
No. But the and Govinda are one and the same. They're the same supreme personality, the same avatari, we call them. Krishna is Govinda is another name for Krishna. He's one and the same person. Ram is different. Yeah, Ram is different. Ram is the prince, whereas Krishna is the cowherd boy, as is Govinda. Is one and the same person.
So Govinda is another name for Krishna, is it?
Exactly. Spot on. Spot on.
Uh-huh. So can we then interchange that in the Maha mantra, say Hare Govinda, Hare Govinda, Hare,
Absolutely.
Govinda, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Yeah. Some people chant Radhe Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe. That's allowed. That is okay.
But maybe that's not as effective as the
It's not
Hare
as
Krishna.
because what Hare Krishna? Why is Hare Krishna more effective? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave it to us. He came 500 years ago. He's Krishna himself, and he gave the Mahamantra, and he turned it around from Hare Rama first to Hare Krishna first.
Yes.
So because of that,
and isn't there an argument that you should not tamper with the ancient scripts, because in the ancient script it was always written as Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
God
Hare.
can tamper with it. God can tamper with it. He can do what he likes, as actually can the pure devotee. The pure devotee also has this power that he can make adjustments according to time and circumstance.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
The beauty of Sanatan. It's not rigid. It's not you don't do it this. If you don't do it this way, you're going to go to hell. No. This is the beauty of Sanatan Dharma. It's given that that room for maneuver is there according to time and circumstance. No, thank you. Vinayak, he's always immersed in dhyan, meditation of Bhagwan Sri Mahavishnu. Vinayak also means very knowledgeable. Ekadanta, he has one task. So there's a lot more names. This is eight other names. 5 principal deities. Adi Shankaracharya popularized the worship of 5 forms, Panchayatana Puja system, among orthodox Brahmins of the Smarta tradition. This worship practice invokes the 5 deities, Ganesh, Vishnu, Shiva, Devi, and Surya. So these are quite common within the Vedic tradition, Vedic scriptures. Adi Sankaracharya instituted the tradition primarily to unite the principal deities of the 5 major sects on an equal status. So very interesting. This formalized the role of Ganesh as a complementary deity.
I didn't quite understand that last paragraph. I mean, that last point there about Adi Shankara. So who is he? And so
good. Yeah, Adi Sankaracharya came about 1400 years ago after Buddhism
subsided.
After Buddhism took hold of Bharat, because basically Buddhism was based on the principle of ahimsa, and it
What does that mean?
displaced the Vedic scriptures. Basically, Buddha's mission was the Vedic scriptures were being used to you do animal sacrifice. So Buddha came, who was none different from the Lord, and he said, no more Vedic sacrifices. This is nonsense. So he stopped animal sacrifices.
Wait, so before in Sanatana Dharma, they were doing sacrifices in the same way that the Muslims now do sacrifices.
No, not in the same way at all. Completely different. But it was being exploited. It was being exploited. The Vedic scriptures were being exploited by unscrupulous people to eat meat, basically, right? So Buddha came, put a stop to it. But at the same time, Buddhism, as you know, it also displaces the notion of God. So what happened after Buddha came? Lord Krishna sent Lord Shiva to come as Adi Sankaracharya. So Adi Sankaracharya is an incarnation of Lord Shiva. And he came to re-establish the Vedas. to bring back the tradition of the Vedas. But he did it in a way that he basically propagated that God has no form, if you like. He has no form particularly. So this was what Sankaracharya did. And then after Sankar, and we'll go through the history of this at some point. Actually, we can do that quite soon.
And sorry, who sent Adi Shankara to the earth? Who sent who? Krishna.
The Lord, yeah, Krishna. Lord
So
Krishna.
why would Krishna then send someone to abolish this? I mean, to
Re-establish Vedic culture.
yes, but he did in a way where it abolishes the concept of God having a form, and also
Correct. Why did he
but
do that? That's a good question. Because firstly, he wanted the Vedas to be established, basically. And later on, this was to pave the way for Chaitanya to come 500 years ago and re-establish the personality of Godhead.
but
So
why couldn't Adi Shankara do that also?
no,
I mean,
because he has a plan. He has a plan which is better than our plan. Because
so
when Chaitanya came,
and so he,
yeah, but
and so,
just 1 second. When Chaitanya came, what he did was he not only he established the personal aspect of God, but he gave this love of Godhead freely. Now, Adhisacharya could not do that. He's not in a position to do that, but Chaitanya is.
and so just to clarify, Adi Shankara, he says to he only said to worship Ganesha, Vishnu, Shiva, Devi, and Surya, but not Krishna himself.
No, that's correct. But also, Adhishankara's his wider mission was that God does not have a form. He established this practice of invoking the 5 deities in order to for the Brahmins to worship in the Smarta tradition. But his overriding principle was that God has no form. He has no form. That's it. So you can become God, basically. That was his.
What was the
Shiva didn't want to do that, but he was instructed to do that by Lord Krishna.
what was the name that we give for the planet? Is it Grahas, isn't it? Grahas?
For which planet? Graha.
You know, is it Grahas? You know the collective name for the 9 planets. Isn't it called the
Navgraha? Navgraha?
Grahas? Well, what is
No.
what is the Hindu term for, like they say, the nine deities which represent the 9. If you go to most Hindu temples, they have the 9 planets. So, yeah.
Oh, it was the Navagraha. That's right. Each
Right.
deity, planet has a deity.
Deity, right. So presumably what Adi Shankara is trying to say is that if we just look at only those 9 planets, the most important one is Surya and not the.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. But I don't think that matters. I wouldn't worry too much about that because you get diverted into something which really does not matter, does not make sense. Yeah. So.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sorry, Prabhuji. So Adi Sankaracharya is one of few 5 or 6 acharya awarded, and we know that 5 acharya now, Ramanuja acharya and I forgot the old name, but I know. So Adi Sankaracharya is the one of the person who awarded acharya, or is a different acharya?
Same,
isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
So how Ganesh received his head? Ganesh is the first son of Parvati, Shiva's consort. During one of Lord Shiva's long bouts of austerity on Mount Kailash, Parvati became lonely, and one day, while taking her bath, she shaped a sun out of the flakes of her own skin. This is the power of Parvati. She instructed him to stand guard as a god. She had nobody who she could really completely trust. So she made Ganesh. out of her own skin and asked him to stand as a guard as an entrance to the house and prevent anybody from entering. Little did Parvati know that Lord Shiva was planning to return that very same day. Shiva sent his faithful Nandi to inform Parvati of his arrival. However, the boy sent Nandi away. So Ganesh, although he was very young, he was very powerful because he came from Parvati. He sent Nandi away as per his mother's instructions. When Nandi informed Lord Shiva, the ascetic god was enraged and marched angrily homewards to see who this insolent creature was who had actually confronted his trusted Nandi and turned him away. On seeing the young boy at his doorstep, and Shiva announced that he was the proprietor of the house and demanded that he be let inside. The boy arrogantly replied that he did not recognize anyone other than his mother. He was so loyal, and he would only obey her orders until death. So this is a little idea. At this, Shiva lost his temper and chopped the boy's head off. I mean, it was quite a fight before he managed to do that. Ganesh was very strong. But of course, Lord Shiva is Lord Shiva. Hearing the commotion, Parvati came out and saw with great anguish and anger her captivated child. She informed her husband that he had just killed his own son. Shiva was repentant at what he had done. He promised Parvati that he would himself go and replace his son's head with that of the first living being that he encountered. As fate would have it, the first being to cross his way was an elephant. So Shiva chopped its head off and carried it to where his son lay and placed it on his shoulders. Even then, Parvati was not consoled, for her son would be the butt of jokes for his somewhat unusual appearance. To allay his wife's fears, Shiva granted their son a boon that no work, project, or religious ceremony could be begun without invoking his blessings. So this is a really amazing pastime. It's very hard to completely comprehend this pastime, but we should understand that Shiva is in a position where he is able to do these things. And this is a pastime as well that we have to understand. Why did he get the elephant's head? Well, once the great Rishi, Durvasa, who is an expansion of Shiva himself, gave the Nirmalya garland of Lord Vishnu to Bhagwan Shri Mahavishnu, of Bhagwan Shiva Vishnu, to Indradev. So Durvasa Muni, a great sage, and a devotee of Lord Shiva, an expansion of Lord Shiva, he gave Mahavishnu's garland to Indra. Now Indra insulted him by putting the garland on the head of his elephant, Airavat. But the elephant, he threw it and touched it with his legs, which is a bit offensive. Now, as a result of this offense, Durvasa cursed Indra to lose his power, that the demigods will lose their power. In the course of time, the demons conquered heaven. Later, the demigods and the demons made a truce and churned the Samudra ocean. Yes, Bhavin?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When you said Durvasa put this Nirmala garland to elephant head.
No, he gave it to Indra, and Indra gave it to his elephant carrier, you know. Indra didn't respect the garland.
So carrier is somebody with him.
Indra's carrier, his mode of transport is the elephant, Airavat.
Airavat, yeah. So did he put on his head?
Yeah, he gave it to the elephant, and elephant threw it on the floor and trampled on it.
Oh, I see. All right. And plus, when he's elephant, he elephant doesn't know that this garland is from Durvasa
Or from Vishnu. Yeah,
or from Vishnu, and he just crushes it with his legs.
that's
And
correct.
that's how Durvasa crossed the no, is it which one you said?
So Durvasa
Sorry.
cursed Indra.
Indra, yeah, that's right.
Demigods will lose their power. Eventually, the demigods got their power back
All
by.
right. Yeah, carry on, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't understand. I didn't understand that. So basically, Indra gave the Rishi Durvasa
Durvasa.
gave
Yeah.
gave the garland which that from Vishnu's head to Indra. Indra then put it onto his e- elephant's head, but the elephant threw it away, and as a result of this offense, Durvasa cursed who?
Indra. He cursed the demigods that you will lose your power.
Right.
So he's a very angry sage, you know. He's a little bit got Shiva's temperament sometimes, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
all demigod or only the
Yeah, all
Indra?
demigods. All
Okay.
demigods. And they lost their power. The demigods got defeated by the demons. But eventually there was a truce between them, and then they churned the ocean. I don't know if you know this pastime. They churned the ocean. From the ocean, there came a whole lot of nectar, and Indra and the demigods got the power back. But due to the offense, the elephant's head was removed. However, it was fortunate to have touched the prashad of the Lord, and thus the head was attached to Ganesh. So this is from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, this pastime. Why Ganesh got the elephant's head.
So then that's different story to what was given before, where you said that he got the head because that was the first animal that Shiva encountered.
It's connected and related. It's basically Airavat's head that goes on the head of Ganesh, on the shoulders of Ganesh. So it's all connected. So
Whose head?
why Shiva met
who is
the
Shiva?
elephant. Sorry?
Who is Shiva?
No, that's why Shiva met the elephant first.
Oh.
The head was chopped off.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you.
Because
Right.
that garland had touched the head of the elephant. So that prashad gave that elephant that life that he was going to become Ganesh, basically. He's Ganesh.
And the prasad of which Lord?
That is very interesting.
That's the garland of Mahavishnu.
No, he said that it touched the prasad of the Lord.
That's the garland. The prashad is the garland. You're thinking prashad, food eating wise.
Yes.
Prashad is anything that's related to the Lord, given to you, is prashad. So the garland that was given to the elephant is prashad.
Oh.
Prashad basically means mercy of the Lord. Prashad isn't food necessarily.
Oh, I got confused there. I thought that okay,
right.
right.
The terms are very interchangeable, very interchangeable. So you have to then understand what the meaning of prashad. Prashad basically means the mercy of the Lord. And it includes food that you eat, but not necessarily exclusively just food. It's anything to do with the Lord is prashad.
Okay. And just one last thing, Papaji. You
Sure.
know that you mentioned, when Shiva cut off the head of Ganesh, then Parvati, was really angry, and he said, what have you done? You've just killed your own son. And but according to some text, they say that wasn't Shiva's son. That was a son of Parvati, and Ganesh only became Shiva's son, where it's the union between, because when Shiva took the head and placed the head of the elephant onto Ganesh.
Yeah,
because
I can relate to that.
I was a combination of both of their joint actions to produce the sun.
Yeah,
Before it
that
was
sounds
only
reasonable.
Parvati's son. So
Yeah, but whatever belongs to the wife belongs to the husband. Whatever belongs to the husband belongs to the wife. That's Vivaha Samskar. That's traditional Vedic wedding. Whatever belongs.
yeah, that's right. But in terms of possession, but in terms of having his his part of his energy, okay, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know where you're coming from, but Shiv Parvati are, they're very, very intertwined. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a very, it's an incredible relationship, which
Oh,
is
that's right. They were saying that Parvati is the female version of Shiva. Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
as similar to,
Radha
Radha
Krishna.
Krishna, so that's why we say, this is the female aspect of God.
Yeah. You're right. Very interesting.
Very good. Yeah, good. How are we doing time? Whoa. Let's just do this one bit. How Ganesh's tusk became broken. One night, Ganesh enjoyed a really special feast. So this is where the Mickey taking takes place sometimes, and was returning home on his carrier, the Bandicot, a type of rat. It was a pleasant evening, and the full moon was shining with a silvery light. Ganesh felt very relaxed. Suddenly, a large cobra slithered out in front of them. The Bandicot, the rat, put on his brakes and stopped so suddenly Ganesh fell off. As he bounced off the ground, his belly popped open, spilling out cakes and jellies. Ganesh was unperturbed. He just put his tummy together and grabbed the snake and tied it around himself so that his stomach would not come undone again. Then he heard somebody chuckling. Looking up, he saw the moon laughing at him. He was furious. Breaking off one of his tusks, he hurled it at the offending planet, slicing part of it. So this is one story showing how the moon comes to have its phases. After this story, Ganesh was called Ekdant, one-toothed. Of course, as we talked about just earlier, there are alternative stories. Ganesh broke off the tusk in order to write the Mahabharata onto palm leaves when sage Vyas recited it. Or it was broken by Parshuram's axe when Ganesh fought with him. Parshuram is the sixth incarnation of Vishnu. Or Ganesh used it as the first ever plow. So there's quite a few different versions of the same pastime. Okay, I think let's stop there. Because Ganesh is good to understand, and we're going to soon have his deity in our mandir. So it's good to know as much as we can about this incredible, lovable personality. When the schools come, they always ask about Ganesh, and they always get taught different things in school about Ganesh.
Yeah, the kids love Ganesh.
They love Ganesh. Yeah, we love Ganesh. He's really one of the most, jolly, friendly, lovable personalities, So, yeah, you're right. We love Ganesh. Absolutely. Anything else? Anybody else? We can continue this on next session, which is on Monday now.
We love Ganesh too.
I
Yeah,
don't
we love Ganesh.
like Ganesh. He's so such a sweet personality,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Ganpati Dada ki jai, Lord Ganesh ki jai.